What is up guys, it's your boy Solam here, back with another Classic 1 video for Season of Discovery. Now, today we have some upcoming class changes that are coming with the scheduled maintenance, which I think is going to be tomorrow for North America and in 2 days for EU, Tuesday for NA and Wednesday for EU, at least that's what I'm thinking. And we have a couple of class changes. Some classes are being buffed, some are being nerfed. Shadow Priests, you're getting some love here, and also Boomkins are getting some love. A lot of classes are getting slightly buffed. Will they be top DPS? Well, time will show. Today though, we are looking at these class changes. I'm just gonna show them to you. We're gonna talk about them a little bit, what I think about this, and if it's a good or a bad thing. So here we go. I just want to be quick on this one. They just came out about half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago. So here we go. Yeah, 22 minutes ago. Tomorrow, with the scheduled weekly maintenance in every single region, we are going to be implementing some adjustments based on class performance and feedback. Season of Discovery. For Druid, Star Search rune ability damage has been increased by 182%. That one is very specific. Why not be like 150, 200, 250? I don't know, but I will say Star Search has been feeling very weak. Like, the only reason I pick it up while I'm leveling, for example, is that it's an instant cast. That being said, it deals the same damage as Wrath, and it costs mana. It costs barely any mana, it's very cheap to use, but it's instant and deals the same damage as a Wrath ability. So overall, feels very weak, the Star Surge rune, but it's still a rune, and getting this increase definitely makes it way more worth using. Also, the cooldown of Star Surge has been reduced to 6 seconds, used to be 10, that is a pretty massive, significant change right there, and the mana has been reduced to 1% of base mana instead of 3%, and I thought it was already cheap, so now it's like insanely cheap and definitely worth using. Now for Hunters, and it's looking like melee Hunters are back on the table, boys. Flanking Strike now gains the benefit of weapon enhancement, like Sharpening Stones, is now on global cooldown, and it's now on global cooldown, come on brother, and is now properly treated as a melee attack, letting it benefit from attack power and combat modifiers to dodge, parry, block, crit, hit, and so on. Finishing Strike, Finishing Strike? Flanking Strike is now prevented by Pacify. Flanking Strike now requires a weapon equipped. Flanking Strike pet damage is now properly treated as a melee attack, with the same benefits as listed above for the Hunter's damage, and a lot of Flanking Strike stuff there, right? Flanking Strike has been modified, no longer on the global cooldown, a bunch of modifiers to the Flanking Strike to make it slightly more worth using, but also global cooldown, but actually getting benefits from those stones and other weapon modifiers is pretty damn massive if you ask me. Now then, additional changes to normalize Hunter pet performance are still to be determined, and we'll get back into that. For the Priest Homunculi damage has been increased by 100%, I swear. Every time. I can never pronounce that one correctly, I have no clue, absolutely no clue. Homunculi, no clue. Void Plague damage increased by 200%, Twisted Faith now increases damage done by Mind Blast, and Mind Flame by 50%. This one used to be 20%. On target afflicted with Shadow Word Pain. Then you have Rogue. Actually, Shadow Priests? Are they gonna top DPS now? Let me know in the comments down below. For the Rogue, Saber Slash, Shiv, and Main Gouge will now probably consume remorseless attacks. Saber Slash tooltip has been fixed, damage not reduced. Saber Slash damage is now properly considered a bleed and benefits from the Mangle debuff. Ooh, okay! That one could definitely make rogues even better than with Saber Slash. Especially when teamed up with a Feral, and you want to be teamed up with a Feral anyway, for the Wild Strikes. So now you have two benefits, Wild Strikes and Mangle debuff. Scrolling down then, we have the Shaman. Lava Lash damage increased to 150% weapon damage, and this one used to be only 100%. That is a pretty significant difference once again. Lava Lash mana cost reduced to 1% of base mana, used to be 4%, so helping with some mana issues right there. And Overload now has 50% chance to trigger, used to be 33%. Holy, okay. Elemental is back on the table, boys. Dual Wield Specialization now grants 10% chance to increase chance to hit while dual wielding, and apart from that, there's one massive change that every single class can benefit from, especially casters, and let's just put it this way, casters have been kind of struggling this raid. I mean, every single top DPS is not a caster. Warriors, red paladins, hunters, rogues, feral druids, you name it, not a caster. Casters have been struggling, we are lacking spell hit and also spell power. We do scale kind of well with spell power, but the boon once again is very melee heavy. So in this case, the boon of the Black Fathom world buff has been adjusted. It now provides 3% spell hit and 25 spell power, in addition to the other physical damage and movement speed effects that it already has. It used to be spell crit, and now it's spell hit apparently, which definitely helps out with the consistent damage output, instead of just helping you crit more often and then just miss those crits. Developers note on this one, spellcasters in general are struggling a little bit in BFD, mostly due to poor scaling without spell power and a higher requirement of spell hit to reliably hit creatures 2+ levels above the caster. Keep those chrono boons handy and don't stand in the fire and lose your buff. Okay, so at the end here, regarding the Hunter Pet performance notes above, we will let you know as soon as we have finished this hotfix. We really like Hunter Pets being able to occasionally do some raid or dungeon tanking, but it was never intended for them to be the best tanks in the game. And I've heard people are actually main tanking pretty much the entire raid as a hunter, so this one definitely makes sense, because if hunters can main tank the entire raid, then literally the meta becomes having a hunter as a tank, having 2 healers, 1 or 2 healers, and just having the rest be DPS. If you have a very solid priest, you can actually solo heal as well, so 1 healer and 9 DPS, with the Hunter Pet being the tank. And I don't think that was ever intentional, especially with the amount of tanks they brought to the game now. We have rogue tanks, warlock tanks, shaman tanks, on top of the current paladin, warrior and feral tanks. We have 6 different tanks, and suddenly hunters are the best tanks. So I don't feel like that was intentional at all, and we'll see what these changes are to the Hunter Pets, like are they bringing the Scorpion damage down at all, or will the Scorpion still be Biss, and what about the Wind Serpent? Will every single Hunter Pet now be normalized to where they all deal the exact same damage, or is there still going to be one pet being absolutely insane compared to the other ones? Like for example, I am currently standing in Durotar, trying to get the rare Death Flare pet myself, which is currently the best one. I think it is, right? Even after the kind of nerfs to the Scorpion, then nerf, then buff, then nerf, then buff again, like such a roller coaster for hunters. And now we have even more to add to that roller coaster, bringing melee hunters a little bit like more up to speed, but also adding flanking strike to the global cooldown. So it's a give and take. It's a little bit of a buff and nerf at the same time, but either way, those are the class notes, so let me know what you think about those in the comments down below. Once again, here you have all of them, just so you can see them. The only classes affected so far are Druid, Hunter, Priest, Rogue and Shaman, and then every single caster being affected by the boon. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. We made this one live on stream, so yeah, if you enjoyed the stream as well, let me know in the comments/Twitch chat. Either way, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.